Greetings of the day. My name is Satya Srinivas. So in this video tutorial, I'm going to explain what is introduction about data mining. So why data mining and what is data mining and what are the steps in data mining that I'm going to explain in this video. So why data mining? So we are living in data age. Why I am saying this is today all the sectors are automated. For example, if you consider banking, so all the process in the banking is automated by using tools and softwares. Similarly, other sectors also like health sector, education sector, all these are automated by using tools and softwares. So this automation generates huge amount of data per day, probably in terabytes or gigabytes of data. So why we need to store such huge kind of data in the storage devices without getting any useful information? So we need to extract useful information from such kind of huge amount of data. It is a challenge. Now powerful tools are required to extract useful information from such kind of huge amount of data. This motivates the introduction to the data mining. So what is data mining? Data mining is the process of extracting the knowledge from huge amount of data. So here we are going to discover the knowledge from the data. So that's why it is called as knowledge discovery from data. The data sources includes the databases, data warehouses, World Wide Web, and other data repositories. So for example, if you see what is the data, so let us consider student data, which consists of number of rows and columns. So the rows are called instances, the columns are called attributes. So here it is a student data. So each row represents one student and each column represents attribute of the student. This is the student data example. Now we are having the data set. So this data set is given to data mining engine. So data mining engine is going to produce the knowledge. For example, let us consider here the data consists of some sales market data. Now that data is given to the data mining and we are going to extract the knowledge like which product will be sold frequently and which product will be liked by the customers. So such kind of knowledge we will get from the data. Now let us see what are the steps in data mining. The first step is data cleaning. It is the process of removing incomplete, noisy, and inconsistent data. So what is incomplete data? If we don't know the attribute value of a particular instance, then it is called incomplete data. So for example, if I don't know the age of a particular student, so I will leave that as a blank value. So that comes under incomplete data. Noisy data. For example, instead of entering the student age 20, unfortunately I entered as 120. So 120 is an exceptional value. So it comes under the noisy data. And what is inconsistent data? For example, for the same student, in one file, the age value is recorded as 20, and in another file, the age value is recorded as 22. Now, there is an inconsistency in the age value. So, such type of data is called inconsistent data. Now, we need to remove this incomplete, noisy, and inconsistent from the data, because if we perform the data mining on the wrong data, we will get the wrong knowledge. So the data must be clean. So that is the first step in the data mining. Second one, data integration. The data may be distributed. So in the sense, for example, let us consider Walmart. Walmart is distributed at various locations in a particular city. Now, it has to combine the data from all the locations before performing the mining. So, and in each location, they are going to use a different format. In one location, they may use SQL, and in another location, they may use Excel. So we need to combine the data from multiple heterogeneous data sources. So this process is called data integration. Next, data transformation. The data must be transformed into the required form. So, for example, if the salary of an employee is 30,000, now I want the salary in lakhs. So I'm going to convert this 30,000 into the lakhs, 0.3 lakhs. Like that, the data will be transferred from one form to the required form. That is the data transformation. Next, data selection. The relevant data for analyzing the data task retrieved from the data. So if you consider any data mining task, we are having relevant data and irrelevant data. We need to select only on relevant data. For example, if I want to find who is the topper in the class, I need the marks of the student. So here marks will become the relevant data. I don't want their addresses, phone numbers, or emails. So that will become the irrelevant data. Now we need to select only the relevant data. So by that, the size of the data will be reduced, and hence time complexity of the algorithm also reduced. So now the next step is the data mining. So in which we are going to apply intelligent techniques or algorithms in order to extract the knowledge. From the data mining step, you will get the knowledge. So from this knowledge, we are going to evaluate the patterns. What are the interesting patterns and what are the uninteresting patterns based on the interestingness measures. Those interesting measures we will see in later units. Next, knowledge presentation. So after getting the interesting patterns, so these patterns must be presented to the user in various forms like pie chart, bar chart, tabular forms, etc. So with this, I'm going to stop the introduction about the data mining. So